Welcome back to the 128 KB podcast. We are back once again.
Due to lack of popular demand.
It's such a good catchphrase that even you're doing.
I love it.
Now.
It's great.
This is your weekly dose of all things gaming with
indeed.
me and him.
Yes, him and me.
Last week we had Leon, I think it was.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Hey, Leon.
Leon, help.
This week we've got Andy's back.
Andy, yeah.
How you doing, Andy?
Yeah, not too bad.
How's your week been?
Yes, I've completed another game. Can you believe that?
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm 2024, the year of game completions.
Forget all the other headlines we're going to talk about.
Yes.
You've completed another game.
I know. We might discuss that in the members only section.
We will discuss that in the members only. And if you want to join us in the members only section, guess what you got to do?
Oh, what do you have to
Become a
do?
member.
Oh, wow.
It's really cheap. I think it's 99p actually.
Yeah, that's for the base tier, and you get access to all these podcasts early as well.
Yes, that's true. So there's little extras for you there. We just hang out. It's a bit more chilled out. It's just some extra on top of this.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're here to talk about.
We're talking about Play Anywhere.
Play Anywhere. Cloud save.
Cloud save,
cross-compatibility.
yes.
We're talking about Xbox
have
ended the console war. And not by conceding defeat.
No.
Not by winning some fandom over.
No.
They've just gone, oh, okay, everyone's selling loads more hardware than us. Do you know what we're going to do?
Yeah.
Make our games available to people.
Yes.
Let's just do that.
Yes.
They've done it by doubling down on their hardware, doubling down on their development of software,
Yep.
and just going, do you know what, some of our best titles, we'll make them available to other players too.
I know. And I just love how transparent they are. Like, to kick it off,
It was really good.
that they just came out. They didn't have to do any of that,
No.
but they did. They
Yeah.
were like, you know what? Community, we've heard you speaking out. We've heard some rumors.
Yeah.
Let's take it from us, right?
Yeah.
Stop talking rubbish, right? We'll just talk to you.
Yeah.
And they really didn't have to do that. Nintendo are like, zip. They're like, we won't tell you anything about anything ever.
I mean, Nintendo are so private that they won't even do a direct anymore. They just drop games on
no
Twitter.
one even knows who works there. They're all just like in black, blacked out rooms, and they just turn up.
And PlayStation's still a closed shop as well.
PlayStation are exactly the same.
Yeah.
They're just like, no, you don't get anything,
No.
So Xbox, I do commend them for actually doing this.
To be fair, they did have to do something from a business perspective.
Yeah.
The rumours were really ramping up.
Yeah.
We started to hear, well, we talked about it a few weeks back
Yeah,
now.
we did.
Is this the end of Xbox?
Yes.
Where we're talking about their first party games being moved over to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch as well. Will they just become a developer?
Yeah.
So they had to do something. And the rumours were like, oh, it's going to be Starfield. Oh, it's going to be all of the Halo games.
Yeah.
Hell, like if they do that, then what's the point of owning an Xbox?
Yeah. It was going to be a Sega all over again. Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
It did look like that. Yeah.
So they had to do something to address those rumours. And it was so nice to see how they did it, because it was really transparent and open.
Yes. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And for those of you boring enough to watch half an hour of Phil Spencer and the rest of the Xbox team.
22 minutes, I think it was.
Was it 20 minutes?
Yeah,
it felt like a lot longer.
It did feel
It was
longer.
a bit dull.
It was. Yeah.
It was very like, you've got to be into this to watch it.
Yeah.
But, if you didn't watch it, then you just listen to this instead.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
And we'll
All
put
the
our
good bits.
tinfoil hat on and
many
ramp up
tinfoils.
some more rumours.
Yeah, let's start the rumors again, so they'll have to readdress it. Next week they'll be coming out.
So I guess the best thing to do is actually, I've written some notes. That's how boring I am. I've watched the thing twice.
Yes,
in fact, we both did.
Yeah.
I'll scroll down some stuff because there's a lot of detail, really interesting points. There were some things hinted at, some things shown, and some things just overtly said.
And we're reading between the lines on some of this.
Well, all the way through this, what do they call it? The business something. This podcast thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a podcast, it was an interview.
It was, it totally was an interview, yeah.
All the way through this, there was things hinted at and there were things shown that weren't talked about. Because it was an edited show, it wasn't a podcast. Nothing in there is by mistake.
Yes.
Everything is very carefully measured.
Yes.
So when things are said or shown, I can't help but think there's a reason why they've done this.
Absolutely. Because whilst we were waiting, we're both on Messenger to each other. Where is it? It's 8 o'clock. Because here in UK time, it dropped at 8 o'clock. And I was like, surely there should be a live stream, because I thought it was going to be a live.
So did I.
And I was like, normally you set a reminder, everyone knows, even if it was like a premiere.
Yeah, pre-recorded.
I was thinking there's nothing. And it just dropped as a video.
Yeah.
And like you said, it was totally edited.
Yeah.
So that everything was precisely meant to be there.
Firstly, before we get into it, I want to give a high five to YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
For being awful for finding this video.
It was bad, wasn't it?
It was just loads of people streaming their live reactions.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
and
man.
even they didn't have it up.
No,
because they couldn't find it.
It wasn't published yet. So I'm sure those of you who are trying to find it like us, there was just tons of us just finding other people's streams. Like, no, I want to watch the thing.
Yeah, it was annoying.
Also, I think this plays and pays into the actual problem that caused them have to be so transparent, and this change of direction, let's say, or at least this doubling down in that direction.
Yeah.
Nintendo closed shop.
Yep.
We know that at the end of their generation.
Yep.
They didn't even bother with the Nintendo Direct this February.
No.
But they did have some announcements to make.
Yes, yeah.
So they basically shadow dropped a bunch of stuff on Twitter.
Yeah,
loads of games.
Publish.
And all like very typical Nintendo games, some obscure, probably some farming simulators in there. Medieval Farm Simulator 5 and Hentai Girls 6.
That's it. It was just a lot of updates on stuff we knew already.
I'm being...
oh, no, they were there too.
Oh, right, they were there. But one of the games on there, within an hour of this announcement on Twitter, the video on Twitter...
Yes.
500,000 views.
Yep.
Right. This morning, 16 hours after the official Xbox announcement on YouTube, where there's a much bigger audience, on the official Xbox channel, this podcast has had 400,000 views.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
So their whole business direction, everything, all the rumors about games and hardware, all confirmed, less than the views on one game video on Twitter for Nintendo.
Yeah.
And that to me tells me everything as to what the problem is, as to why they're doing the things that they're going to be doing.
Yes, yeah.
The appetite and interest in Xbox, or at least the player base, let's say, is far less than Nintendo and PlayStation can gather.
Massively, yeah.
What's the PlayStation sales compared to this? It's like double, isn't it, PlayStation 5?
Yeah, we should have really...
I'm sure I saw somewhere the other day that they've doubled the sales.
Yeah, at least, yeah. Xbox is considerably behind, and obviously Switch, Nintendo are like miles ahead.
Yeah, Nintendo Switch has sold almost as much as the PlayStation 2, which is... It's insane. Absolutely insane numbers. So Xbox are really lagging behind, which has a knock-on problem to them as a game publisher or developer of games, which is really where they're focused now.
Yeah, well, especially now with everyone they own.
They own everyone, as they really kindly said in there a few times.
Yes, they did. I loved that.
We are the biggest publisher of games on PlayStation and Nintendo.
I loved that. That was like that was so funny when I heard that. I just messaged you like, "Ooh, burn."
Yeah. But to be fair, I mean, they own Call of Duty, they own Minecraft.
Yeah.
Those two alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Forget everything in between.
Yeah. But I just love how they dropped that in there.
Yeah, like, subtle dig.
Yeah.
But there's a need for them to get their games that they own in front of as many people as possible.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's the basis of this whole thing now.
Yes, yeah. And that's what we've been kind of saying for ages about the console wars, like irrelevant.
It's irrelevant, yeah.
As long as you're having fun, which is what gaming's about, who cares? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just play it on what you want to play. It's about the games, not about the hardware.
I genuinely love that about this this podcast, this announcement that Xbox made. That was the North Star. That was the basis of this whole thing. It was like, really, it shouldn't matter where or what your fandom is. They even acknowledged it. People will love the console they've invested the most into.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's going to be PlayStation by a long way and Nintendo by a long way.
Yes.
Because they've existed for longer.
Yeah.
And their marketing's been better. They are bigger. So if like me, you've invested huge amounts into PlayStation, then I'm going to lean towards PlayStation way more.
Yes. Yeah.
Yourself with Nintendo, you're going to lean towards Nintendo way more.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they need to get their games in front of people in order for them to continue making these games.
Yes.
So they ended the console war, in my opinion, by going, do you know what? It doesn't matter. And I really loved that.
Yes. Yeah, I really like that as well. The fact that they've chosen to actually, release some games elsewhere. Yeah. Which, again, they didn't have to.
No.
But they did. And it's not what we anticipated before, is it?
No, it's not. And we'll get to the games. Well, we can get to the games now, actually.
Yeah.
At the top, what game? So the games being rumoured before this.
Yes.
We're hearing about Starfield.
Yes.
Which would have been crazy. It's not even a year old. It's barely even 6 months old.
Yeah.
Halo.
Yes.
Forza. It was like everything.
Yeah, people were just like, all the Xbox games.
Yeah. So they said in the announcement, I'll quote them, that there's 4 games that are Xbox games, or Microsoft owned, that are going to be released on the other platforms.
Yes.
And by the other platforms, I mean PlayStation and Nintendo.
Yeah. And they made a specific point to say it is just 4 games.
Yes.
And that is it. They said just because you've seen these 4 games doesn't mean we're doing anything else.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
Yes. But going back to that point of like Play Anywhere, console sales are low and stuff, it just makes so much sense to, regardless of what games they are, obviously we'll talk about that in a sec, but put 4 games out there on all these platforms. Oh, and by the way, Game Pass is only on Xbox. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. By the way,
keep that in mind, So Game Pass is only on Xbox. Our sales are down. We're the biggest publisher on PlayStation and Nintendo. 4 games for you guys. Oh, and by the way, you're going to love them because we've carefully chosen our most popular games. So when you're playing on PlayStation, you're a PlayStation fanboy or you're a Nintendo fanboy, and you're like, actually, I really like this new game I've not played. Who's it published by? It's the Green Goblin.
It's made by Xbox.
Yes. Oh, maybe I want to buy one of those and try some more games.
They're carefully picked, and it was a very specific criteria that Phil Spencer was talking about. They're over a year old.
Yes.
They've got a active and exciting player base or community.
Yes.
2 of these games will be live service. 2 will be smaller games that were never supposed to be Xbox or Microsoft exclusive anyway. So it's very specific. Basically, they've gone, what is the lowest bar that will get the most people interested?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's not, he wasn't going to confirm what these games were, but they're kind of quite well known out there. I think The Verge might have even reported on it, which is fairly big bigger than us. Let's be honest. Big publication.
It is, yeah.
So the games we're talking about
are not Starfield.
They're not anything from the Halo franchise or Forza, although they did.
Yes.
They did show Halo and Forza in this thing.
To trip you up.
Nothing's a mistake in my opinion. I think that's a wink at the future.
Yeah, well, I think, again, it's saying, play these games.
Yeah.
But you could be playing Forza and Halo with us.
Maybe. Or maybe the live service Halo.
Yeah.
And the live service part of Forza could be in the future. But anyway, the games that we believe these 4 games are going to be. Sea of Thieves is one of them.
Absolutely has to. That's the most rumoured one anyway.
Everyone's talking about it.
It's 2018.
That surprised me.
Yeah, so it's 6 years old already.
Yeah.
Massive player base.
Huge player base.
Massive fan base. It feels like a sure fit for the Switch 2.
Yes.
Because that's right round the corner.
And a sure fit for PlayStation.
Absolutely. And again, they keep saying in that podcast that they want people to play anywhere and build these communities up. And it doesn't matter what device you're playing on, it's about playing the game.
Yeah.
And they kind of even hark back to, it used to be about consoles,
yes.
which it did. Everyone was always oh, look at the PS2 or like whatever console it was. And you were so hyped about that. You didn't really care about the games. Like that was on top of it.
Yeah.
But it was like, this system. They're trying to say, well, now in 5 to 10 years time, exclusives are going to be less.
The system doesn't matter.
System doesn't matter. Let's all play together. That's better for the developers. It's better for the community.
Yeah.
It's better for the player.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Yes.
If you've got choice and you can play anywhere.
And friends. I mean, not if you've just got friends. I mean, like
watching friends.
No. Like hopefully you've got some friends. But I mean, it's not a guarantee that your friend will have the same system as you.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the games that have embraced cross-compatibility on live service games in particular, look at Fortnite.
Yes.
I don't like it.
No,
it's not for me.
No.
I don't really like live service games in general.
I don't.
But part of that game's wild success is the fact that anyone can play from any system together.
Yes, exactly.
So it doesn't matter what your hardware is. You're getting pretty much the same game experience.
And again, choosing a live service game, like you said,
like Sea of Thieves, is
perfect opportunity to get new players in from the PlayStation ecosystem. Which look at the sales of PlayStation versus Xbox.
Yeah,
we've got untapped player potential here.
Yeah,
and the Switch 2 is going to be around here. Potential Switch, look at the sales and fan base.
How many Switch players?
I know it's like 100, nearly 150 million.
we'll go on to the other games in a second. The idea in general of allowing Xbox games onto other systems, which they said there will be more in the future, even though Phil Spencer said that's it for now.
Yeah.
The whole thing was about making games available wherever people are playing.
Play anywhere.
It is the best marketing they could possibly do.
Absolutely.
It's not talking about it. It's allowing people to play Xbox games.
Yeah.
And like you said, let's say there's a live service Halo.
Yes.
Available on PlayStation.
Yeah.
If it's wildly successful, that's great for the developer.
Yes.
And great for Xbox then as a knock-on.
And it's great for PlayStation players to experience.
Yeah, because they can play it.
Yeah.
But then also, if you want to play the new Halo that's just been released, it's only available on Xbox for now.
Or Day One Game Pass.
Day One Game Pass.
Yeah.
So we've got Sea of Thieves.
Yep.
Grounded.
Yes. Yeah.
Not a game I've played.
Not played it, but I wish listed it on Steam when it came out because it looks cool. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
You build some stuff.
Craft survival.
Do some stuff. It's single player and co-op online or whatever. Yeah. So, looks cool.
I'll talk about the common theme of these games in a second as well. There's Pentiment.
Yes.
Again, not something...
Never heard of it until we looked at it.
We like games, I promise.
Yes.
And the final one, which has been absolutely talked about everywhere for ages, Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, this one makes sense again. I mean, it looks like a Nintendo game to start with. It's basically Jet Set Radio. Like it
really is.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's some sort of cell shaded kind of style.
It looks cool. It looks
rhythm
like a
game.
Nintendo game.
It looks awesome, and it's really funny because this game shadow dropped.
Yeah,
and everyone kind of went nuts as to why Microsoft didn't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah,
because they said nothing. It was just, here it is. And then all of a sudden, this is like a seriously successful game. You know, all of these games have been carefully curated.
That's the common theme, as I was going to say. Carefully curated. They are, they're older games.
Yep.
They've been, they've got a large player base.
Yes.
And the real common theme is they've all been overwhelmingly positive response to the games.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like the player reviews are always really high on these games.
Absolutely. And that's why they're choosing old games and not new ones which could suck.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Because look at PlayStation's
if they did Starfield.
Yeah.
I think that would probably be detrimental to Xbox.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Because they like herald Starfield as like their AAA Game Pass release.
Only on Xbox, yes.
And actually, the overwhelming response about Starfield is pretty mid to negative. It's just a bit like, meh.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I
do. I'm kind of aware I'm in the minority.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
So if they did that as their flagship, we're going to make these games available. Yeah. It'll probably be a net negative.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you're treading on your own player base.
Yeah.
Because, something that should be for Xbox only is now
bought an Xbox for the game.
Same. Yeah. So you're, sort of overlooking your own community here. Then you're giving it to the opposition, which are going to say it's crap.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're backlashing yourself in both corners.
But pick games that are wildly popular, are a bit more neutral, that aren't so obviously Xbox.
And that everyone knows already.
Yeah. And you're doing it. And I bet there's PlayStation fans or PlayStation players rather that are begging to play some of these games, especially Sea of Thieves.
Absolutely, yeah.
They'll be like, I wish I could play that game because I've seen my favourite streamer play it.
Exactly. And look at it on the, if they did the opposite, let's say Sony, PlayStation, is Xbox, and PlayStation's got that new bubble bath game. What's it called again?
Foam
party. Yeah,
it's so bad, man.
So whatever. Yeah. Imagine if that was this is on everything. Metacritic score is so low, everyone says it sucks, and it's just a rip off of Splatoon done badly.
If they released that on Nintendo,
yeah.
Well, I'm definitely not buying a PlayStation now.
Yeah. But imagine if they did that. That is just the wrong move. So they're making the right decision here.
100%. Yeah. The big thing, we've talked about it before: play anywhere, cross save, cross compatibility.
They liked saying that a lot.
We lost count, but I think it was 4 or 5 times at least in that 20 minutes.
In the first 3 minutes. Yeah.
We want people to play anywhere on any screen that they have. We want people to be able to pick up and play whatever with the same save file. We've talked about this before. Cloud saving.
We have. Yeah.
And that's going to be a integral part of their hardwares.
Yes.
Plural.
Yes. And I like that they say we already do it with buy once, play on multiple devices.
Entitlement everywhere.
With Xbox and PC, and he says it would be really nice if other people did that. PlayStation.
You can only be talking about two people.
Yeah, exactly. It was so funny. They was hinting at both PlayStation and Nintendo, but it was just very funny that he kind of made a statement there.
And paused.
I mean, so you've got cross save, cross progression, and entitlement to multiple devices.
They can implement it on their hardware.
Yes.
And across Game Pass for PC players very easily. In fact, I think there'd be a lot of games that already do that.
Yeah.
We've seen other publishers implement it in their own systems. Ubisoft have got Ubisoft Connect, is it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
So the Prince of Persia game, you can pick up and play whatever.
Yeah, your save just goes uploaded.
And that's fantastic, especially if you're, like they acknowledged in this thing, one of the many millions of players that have multiple different consoles.
Yes,
be it a Switch, in a Steam Deck, in a PlayStation, whatever it is, So this kind of exists, but in a broken way with some publishers. What they're saying in this is that they're hoping to make it a core feature of Xbox.
Yes.
That you can do this.
Yes.
What that does require is that PlayStation and Nintendo play ball with it.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then I guess you're going to have a Microsoft account, Microsoft Live account.
Yeah, for it to transfer across.
So when you pick up Prince of Persia game now, you have to sign in.
Yes.
But you only have to do it once.
Yes. Yeah, but that would be the same with your Xbox account. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
When you're on PC, you still have to sign into the Microsoft Store with your account, and then that's how it is. When you get the Xbox for the first time, you sign in. Do you know what I mean?
I was excited to hear that part, mainly the cross progression thing and the entitlement across multiple devices.
That's the future. Yeah.
I think absolutely. I was going to say that's the future of gaming.
Absolutely.
I think these lines between different camps are just going to get blurred and dissolved. And it will be less important as we go forward.
Especially for me that plays across all systems.
Yeah.
I've got an Xbox. I've got a PS5. I got a Steam Deck.
Just showing off now.
I got a Switch. And sometimes I end up buying the same game multiple times.
Yeah.
Because I want to play it portably as well as on whatever. Do you know what I mean? And it's annoying because there's even Switch games that I'll go to my Steam Deck and re-buy just because I know that when it's a link to my Steam account, in 20 years' time, I'll be able to play it. Whereas on the Switch, in 20 years' time, unless I've still got that old system, it might not work.
But what Microsoft are saying here, what Xbox are saying here, is that if you buy one of their games, you'll have entitlement on any platform.
Yeah.
That in itself is a big thing. Phil Spencer made it was a really small footnote. And he said, the whole thing about this is how do we grow the games industry, not Xbox, but the games industry.
Yeah.
And there's two ways in which you could do it. You can try to extract as much money out of the existing players you have.
Yes.
Which is the old way.
Yeah.
That's selling DLCs, it's selling live service stuff, or it's selling the game multiple times on different platforms.
Yes.
Or you can increase the player base.
Yes.
And to increase the player base, you have to make it more accessible.
Yeah.
And these moves are more accessible than they are about exploiting the existing players.
Yeah.
So,
and it's better for the community.
It's better for everyone. Entitlement across multiple systems is huge.
Yeah.
It feels like a real PC move.
It does. Yeah, it does feel like that. Or does it mean entitlement across their own systems, which we'll touch on later?
It could be. One of the biggest things in this for me was this next bit that I really want to talk about. They didn't even make a big deal of it. They just said it.
Yeah.
And they just confirmed it. They just nailed on. Game Pass is Xbox only.
I loved that they did that.
Bam.
That was a nice confirmation.
Because one of the big rumours coming out was that their Xbox was going to be on Nintendo and PlayStation.
I started that rumour,
yeah. One of the big rumours.
Industry Insider.
It's a bit like my Final Fantasy VII video.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Industry Insider says Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Graphics are a bit shit.
That was incredible. That was AJ's best line.
Did I actually say? I can't remember saying
you did. Yeah.
I didn't script it. I just I'm just going to talk.
Yeah, it was great.
I said when you put it in graphics mode, in performance mode, just looks a bit shit.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was exactly the words. It was great.
So professional.
Nice quote for you there.
Yeah. So Game Pass is Xbox.
I like.
Bam.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
So that goes against what I was anticipating of Game Pass on Switch too.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're on the right lines. it's not going to be through Game Pass.
Yes,
we thought that these games, Microsoft games being available elsewhere, will be through Game Pass.
Exactly, but they're not. There's going to be these curated, like hand-picked, selected, hard hitters, which again is the right move for Xbox.
They'll have to be wildly successful, and they have to be over a year old.
Yes,
and he kind of confirmed that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great move.
But Xbox only getting Game Pass.
It's one of the key advantages that Xbox has, and one of their best-selling features. And I can understand why they've done this.
Yes. And again, it links in with these 4 games that they're bringing over. Yeah. Like we touched on earlier. Oh, you play these games? You like these? You could be on Xbox. Yeah. And instead of paying... what's Sony charging you now? £100 a game?
Yeah.
£100?
Yeah.
What about £10 a month?
$8.99.
$8.99. And you get all of these games for one price. Oh, and by the way, that's only on Xbox.
Yeah, and to follow that, was the other big announcement with Game Pass. All Microsoft games.
Yes.
From all of their stables, Bethesda, Activision Blizzard, all of them will be day one Game Pass.
And they said that multiple times as well. Want to slip up? This is an edited video.
Day one.
Yeah. Day one.
Right. I paid £70 for the new Call of Duty.
Yeah.
to play it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I've got an Xbox.
Yep.
But it's because it was like a weird gift exchange I did with Pete. I wanted the physical version so I could wrap it up.
Yeah.
He bought me the same gift and we just pretended to give it to each other. It was a long running joke. But I paid £70 for that game to play it.
Yeah.
This time next year, when they release the new Call of Duty,
one.
I'll be able to play it for free in my Xbox subscription.
Absolutely.
Day one.
Now,
if you wanted to play Call of Duty day one, I would argue you would have had to have pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes.
Here. And the pre-orders, so you got it a little early access and all that, was £100.
It's £100. So expensive, wasn't it?
Or you play it on Xbox Game Pass for free.
Yeah.
It's huge, man.
It is insane. Like Game Pass, like we've been saying this since we've been going hard on the Xbox
since
side.
September time.
Yeah, that they've been failing for a while, but they're building this infrastructure to really move the gaming industry forward.
Yeah.
And I really feel like they are, you know, and that's what I love this transparency for, is it doesn't feel like they're just trying to save Xbox. They're trying to make a better future for gamers.
Wow.
You know, like it really does though.
No, it does,
you know, and it doesn't feel like like a political like bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like actual they're genuinely trying to do this for the benefit of gamers and themselves.
Yeah, it's a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah,
they will benefit from doing this.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. And it's beautiful to see day one Game Pass.
Game Pass came on.
Because I thought it could just be sporadic, like Starfield. Oh, here's Starfield, but the next one maybe not. Yeah. Maybe you got to pay for that, or you know, you pay for that like early access thing on Game Pass or whatever. But no, all games
Game Pass
day one.
And to really cement that point, they were like, oh, on the first, we're going. So this obviously hints that they're going to look backwards as well at some of the previous releases to put on Game Pass, because Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, they confirmed that. Yeah, March, wasn't it?
Yeah, March. Yeah. With there's a DLC coming for it as well.
Yes,
which I imagine will be included in Game Pass.
Oh yeah, of course it will. Yeah. That's
or you could pay for it on PlayStation.
Yeah. So when PlayStation's there paying full price for Call of Duty every year, and Xbox getting it for free. Game Pass.
It's pretty mental.
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah. And it's funny because with Diablo 4, I love Diablo 4.
Yeah.
We bought it on PlayStation when it came out. I've also bought it on Steam Deck, on Steam, so I can play it on Steam Deck. And we play the Xbox far more than the PlayStation currently. And I was contemplating buying Diablo 4 on Xbox.
Really?
Yeah. Like, because I was like, well, we play the Xbox way more.
Yeah.
And it's just easier. Quick resume, man.
Yeah, quick resume's so
it's
good.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's so quick, you know? And and I was thinking, we'd probably play it more because we got the Xbox controllers on our little side tables by the sofa.
Yeah.
40-hour battery life.
40 hour. Let's not go there again. I triggered so many people, mainly on Facebook, about saying that the PlayStation controller battery life sucks.
Yeah, but no, that's not true. But more on that in the members show.
Yeah.
So we've got the Xbox controllers there. The PlayStation controllers are on the charging dock, which they're required to be on.
Yes.
On the TV stand, which requires us not to be lazy. Unfortunately, we're lazy. So I want to play Diablo 4 on Xbox, and now I don't need to rebuy it.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming to Game Pass, and I was still contemplating.
Really?
Because I didn't know when. They'd never said, I want to play it now.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm impatient.
Well, soon you won't have to be impatient.
Exactly. And now I know a date. I'm going to wait and
But
get
also,
it free.
like in the future, you won't have to be impatient because the new releases from any of their stables, of which it's kind of ridiculous how many developers they own now.
I know, it's insane, isn't it?
But they'll all be coming to Game Pass day one.
But they're the biggest publishers on both PlayStation and Nintendo, as they like to remind us.
It did say that quite a few times. I liked it. Okay. There was some other really exciting bits right near the end.
Yes, there was.
That just kind of... It was like a shadow drop.
It was, wasn't it? It's just they like kind of glazed over it. Like,
one of them is a rumor that we started.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
It was us just putting things together and going, I think they'll do this.
Yeah.
Firstly, Phil Spencer took a sly dig at AMD.
He did, which was really weird, wasn't it? He said one sentence and then totally.
So he quotes the CEO of AMD, and he said that. I can't remember, Lucy something.
I don't know.
CEO of AMD says that AMD console sales will be in decline through 2024.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Well, does that mean that your future hardware will definitely not use AMD? It'll definitely be NVIDIA then?
Yeah. AMD consoles are in decline. Done. Moving on.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Sorry, what? Because the only AMD consoles are PS5 and the Xbox Series.
Weird.
Funny that, isn't it?
So does that mean that they definitely will be using NVIDIA in their future generations?
It's really funny how the Switch 2, the Switch uses NVIDIA, and the Switch 2 is going to be using a custom chip from NVIDIA, and that there's talks of NVIDIA creating a separate business side for custom-made chips.
Weird, this.
Yeah, for businesses to use.
And it was odd that Phil Spencer decided to drop that sentence whilst they're about to talk about hardware releases.
Yeah.
What?
But it wasn't even directly before. It was like a little while before.
Yeah.
It kind of...
leading up to it.
Yeah, he kind of dropped it and then just went... Anyway, it was like he had Tourette's.
Yeah.
AMD consoles are going to be ended by... maybe, so the weather's pretty good. And in a minute, someone's going to talk about hardware, but let's just bumble along for a bit.
Hardware.
It was so weird.
I'm going to split it into 2 bits.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. 2 bits, because there was 2... If you were careful what you listen to, or if you listen to it twice like us dullards did, because we've got too much time on our hands.
We actually listened to this one sentence about 8 times.
8 times.
We were like, let's go back.
Because how it was written was very purposeful. And you could have missed this.
You could have.
It's a little tinfoil hat, though. I will acknowledge that we are picking apart a sentence. Okay. I wish I could remember her name. She was in charge of kind of the hardware side of Xbox.
I've got the quote if you want to read it directly.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah? Go on. It'll take me 3 seconds to pull it up.
So essentially, they're talking about what hardware releases are coming in the Xbox stable, which firstly doubles down on the point that they're not exiting the hardware world.
Because that
was one of the big rumors.
That was the biggest rumor, is no, they're going publisher only.
Yeah.
Xbox is no more. No. It's not sold enough. They're going to shut up shop. No,
they're doubling down on
exactly.
being a hardware manufacturer.
Yes.
And yes, they did acknowledge that their focus is now games first, that games should service the hardware should service the games and not the other way around.
Yes.
And the focus will be on games, but they're doubling down on their hardware offering. You've got it here for me.
Yes.
I've written, you've put more hentai. And I put, yes, more Tifa.
Yes.
Oh, wrong. Sorry.
That was the other chat.
Okay. This is direct quote then. There's some exciting stuff coming out in hardware that we're going to share this holiday. End of sentence. She then goes to say, we're also invested in a next generation roadmap. What we're really focused on there is delivering the largest technical leap you will have ever seen in a hardware generation.
Ooh.
So there's actually two distinct points there. Firstly, that there's going to be a hardware announcement this holiday.
Yep.
And they're working on something exciting.
Yes.
The next generation stuff was a separate topic.
It was, yeah.
So let's pull this apart. Okay.
Ooh.
Tinfoil hat.
Oh.
Okay. There's going to be an Xbox hardware announcement at the end of this year, the holiday.
Yeah.
For those of you in the UK and Europe, that's Christmas time.
Yes.
What could this be?
I know. Yes.
I think there's three distinct options.
Yes. Come on.
Okay. And they go from dull to the most exciting in
Yes.
this order. And the most exciting is the one Andy thinks it is.
It's
the one,
it's got to be.
it's the one we both think it is. And we did a whole episode about this
Yes.
a couple of weeks ago.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. It could be a new controller.
Could be, but why would they bring it up?
Why would that be exciting?
No, and yeah, exactly. Why would they bring it up in this massive business push? It's not any way related to
all the things they're talking about.
Gaming,
No.
Play Anywhere.
No.
It doesn't make sense. That would be more random than the AMD sentence. You know?
Yeah.
It's very weird.
The one that it could be, and it's kind of likely,
Yeah.
is a digital only Series X.
Yes. Okay. Possibly. Yeah. Again, I don't know. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
I will be disappointed if this is the case. Not because I don't want a digital only Series X. Cool.
Yeah.
But the last one we both want it to be, we did a whole episode about it, and that is, it almost definitely feels like, and I hope it is,
Yes.
a dedicated Xbox handheld.
Yes.
Ah!
It has to be. Like, they've said multiple times, the most said phrase in this entire podcast is Play Anywhere.
Yes.
They're now saying that you're not going to get Game Pass on the Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
You're only going to get 4 games.
Yes.
Right? Play Anywhere across anything, with one purchase of a game. And you can play on multiple screens.
Multiple screens.
That kept cropping up. Any screen that you have in your hands, that kept cropping up. They kept showing
They showed
B-roll.
so many handhelds. And again, I'll go back to my point right at the start.
Yeah.
This is a carefully scripted and edited, recorded interview.
Yes.
Nothing that is in there is by mistake.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah. It's
they've
all
shown was
purposeful.
on purpose.
Absolutely.
And would have been heavily scrutinized by all the execs involved.
Yeah.
Gone, no, don't show that shot, show this shot.
Yeah.
They showed so many handhelds.
Yes, all the people with phones streaming
So many.
to it. And they're like, play anywhere, however you want to play. And it was just like, okay, buy once, play it on any, any
entitlement
screen.
across all.
That's it, yeah. Cross save, cross progression on any device you want, play anywhere.
And then you tinfoil, you connect it to the weird drop about AMD.
Yes.
That slide dig somehow.
Yeah.
And what's Nvidia's most successful thing in the console in recent years? Got to be the Switch.
Nintendo Switch. Yeah, and what's going to be coming out?
Nintendo Switch 2.
Nintendo Switch 2, which is going to be supposedly getting announced in March with a fall or Christmas release.
Yeah.
But in fall and Christmas, Xbox are going to announce something. It makes sense because even Phil Spencer said himself previously when asked about a handheld.
Yeah.
Someone asked him in an interview and he kind of dodged it by saying, I've got the Asus ROG Ally, which I play Game Pass on, which is a Game Pass machine. So he himself is playing handhelds that are super niche. Like, these are PC handhelds. You can't play Game Pass on Steam Deck properly. And even the Steam Deck is super niche, but that's streaming only. He's now confirmed Game Pass is not on Switch. So that's not a thing at all, which I thought it could be. I thought Switch 2 could have Game Pass.
So they have no native.
Yes.
Like, as the game's installed on it.
Yes. And no
handheld offering.
No mass produced offering. PlayStation released the Portal.
Yeah.
Whilst it sucks and we still see the point of it, they're sold out everywhere.
Massively successful.
Even to the point there's rumours now that Sony are preparing their own handheld for PS6 time.
Yeah.
So Microsoft's point of view, Xbox, they're sat back here. Switch has sold 150 million nearly. The PlayStation Portal, which is crap, is sold out constantly. PC like Master Race have all these really cool handhelds that can play, Game Pass. And there's all these people fondling their dirty touch screens trying to stream our games, which you can't do because there's no controller attached.
Yeah.
And it sucks. That was Phil Spencer's actual words.
Wow.
And he
Weird. It sounds just like you.
Yeah, he said maybe we should make a handheld, and kind of hint it multiple times during this
They
show.
kept showing handhelds. They talked about the processing, play anywhere, cross compatibility, cross saves, entitlement across devices.
Yes.
It feels like what's the basketball expression? The alley-oop. Like it's been put up and someone just needs to slam it down.
Yeah, it does.
It's an open goal right now.
And what are Xbox like failing at the minute is hardware sales.
Yeah.
So everyone's on a handheld binge. We just did a whole podcast of our handhelds dominating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if it's not out yet, it's coming out. I can't remember when these shows are going. But there you go, sneak peek if it's not out yet.
I think this might come out before that one.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Because of
yes,
times.
I've rejigged it. Yeah, okay. So we do have a whole episode dedicated to the fact that everyone's getting a handheld coming out.
Yeah.
And again, that Switch 2 coming, like, it just makes sense for Xbox to not rival, but coexist and have something that could really help them in the sales.
Yeah.
If they've got Game Pass day one, you buy Game Pass, you've got your machine handheld that natively plays them, not just streams, because at the minute they've only got stream, and they kept saying that play anywhere, cloud gaming, because that's currently all they've got.
Yeah.
Like, it just would make sense to me that they would release a handheld. And
How exciting would that
I'm
be?
all for that.
Yeah, I'd get
I've
one.
always wanted an Xbox handheld. Even with the PSP days and the Nintendo DS, I was like, why haven't Xbox made one? I always wanted one.
I would get a PlayStation one as well.
I would, yeah.
100% would get a PlayStation one. Not a Portal, I would get an actual native handheld device, because it'd be cool as hell.
I would love that.
Do you know what I'd want the most? And I think we talked about this in the handheld episode.
Yes.
I'd want a Game Gear.
Yes,
like a
Game
new one.
Gear too.
I want Sega to do one. And maybe they will with their new games. They probably won't. I'm dreaming.
Of course they won't.
No.
But how cool would that be to see the top three, like a Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox, all have a dedicated handheld? And the funny thing
back
is,
to the glory days.
It is. That's what I was going to say. It's funny though, because Sony has like tried and failed so many times. There's always been a hiccup, like with their things. I mean, most noticeably the PS Vita, because they shot themselves in the foot with, proprietary rubbish.
The media,
But Xbox would do it right. Like, it would coexist with their system perfectly.
The whole ethos of this leads to them being able to do that right. Basically, the focus on being able to game anywhere. That's clearly everything they're pointed at.
What would you like? I know I'm going right down a rabbit hole here, but with the series, both X and S, you've got their own proprietary drive for Xbox, which is their super quick, like quick resume capable drives. Like, I've got one of them in the back of my Xbox. Imagine if the handheld utilized that.
Of course it would.
So you can pull out all of your games from your Xbox.
Oh, wait.
No need to install.
And just stick it straight
into the handheld.
That would be
How
amazing.
sick would that be? You don't have to download your games again.
Yeah.
Like, they're already on it. And if you...
It's the same operating system.
Yeah, exactly. You just literally go, I'm going out for a week. Whoop, into the thing. Done.
Wow. That could be epic.
That would be sick. It would be so good.
My other theory, getting into the Xbox handheld thing, is that they will do a handheld.
Ooh.
And it will take the place of the market of the Series S. It'll be that kind of price point.
Yes.
It'll be their entry point priced console.
Yep.
And they'll no longer do a Series S.
I totally agree with you.
Or whatever the equivalent will be in the next generation. It will be their top-end console, and the lighter version is handheld.
Yeah. I think that would make sense.
And now you've got a reason to buy both.
Exactly.
So for them, they're doing really well.
Yeah, you're tickling the itch of both. The people,
or one or the other. I just want a handheld.
And because it's not the Portal, it doesn't require the other to coexist.
Yeah,
you can just buy the handheld, and you're still going to get a great experience.
What if they made a dock for it as well?
Yes, they could do. Yeah.
There's nothing stopping someone else doing what the Switch has done.
Exactly, I
mean, you can kind of do it with the Steam Deck.
You can, yeah.
But there's no proprietary dock to do it like there is with the Switch.
Yeah. I mean, Steam do make their own dock for the Steam Deck. But
do they?
Yeah, they do. But it's still like just basically a stand with USB-C.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's not like a nice, easy ching, like, you know.
There's nothing stopping someone else from doing it.
No, it's not at all. But I totally agree with you. Whilst I love the fact and I understand why Xbox made the S.
It's confusing.
It's confusing, and it's the cheaper option. I get it, but you're getting a lesser experience, which could tarnish Xbox's name to some people if they've gone out and bought the S thinking they're getting X performance, and graphics, and they're going, this just looks a bit, pants. The performance isn't as good. Maybe Xbox isn't great. No. Get rid of that. I know why you did it, Xbox, because your sales are lower.
Yeah.
So you wanted to try and straddle both.
Markets.
Exactly. Nah. Offer your elite one, the X, and offer a handheld, which is going to be a better experience.
Because then you can underperform the games.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter because you're playing on an 8-inch, 7-inch
and they will
screen.
Perform better than the S would on a 4K TV.
It's 1080p. It's tiny. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah. Slap an 8-inch 1080p 120 hertz like OLED on it.
Yeah.
And away you go.
I think I'd finally get decent frame rate out of Starfield then.
Yes.
Because there's some moments where it was bad.
Yeah. But I mean, I think this all makes sense that they are leaning towards a handheld. And if they're not, well, then Xbox and Phil Spencer, because you're watching our podcast,
obviously,
you just send us another bag of cash.
Oh yeah, the last one's run out now.
Yeah, we've used that.
Yeah, bought loads of bottles.
Yeah, we bought
and merch.
Yeah, merch to sell. To
links below.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so the final part of the hardware thing, and the final part of our digging deep into this Xbox announcement. She talks about there's a big announcement this fall.
Yes.
Full stop.
Yes.
And then goes on to talk about the next generation.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't excited about that. I was more excited about the hand.
No, it's fine.
I am excited by it.
In short, the next generation will be the biggest ever technical leap we have ever seen.
And that's because they're moving to NVIDIA.
They definitely are.
Yeah, because NVIDIA are always ahead. Yeah. They're always ahead of AMD.
Why would they have taken a dig at AMD otherwise?
It's so funny. Yeah. They are totally going NVIDIA.
Yeah.
They have to be.
The biggest ever technical leap we've ever seen. I don't know what that means. If that's just hyperbole, if it's just marketing speak.
But that kind of backs up the handheld. Doesn't it, though?
Well, they're two distinct things, though.
Exactly. But if this is going to be the most distinctive leap on the the home console, well then maybe that's backing up, okay, NVIDIA are making our biggest jump forward on the home system, and they're making our handheld as well. Yeah. That's kind of saying we're not going to do the split this time. Yeah. We're not going to have the little brother. The little brother's going to be the handheld. Yes. We're going to have one system to rule them all. It's going to be like a supercomputer, and then you can have the handheld as well. Yeah. Like that's how I'm seeing this. Yeah. But the next technical leap, I know that they say this and it's like marketing talk, but that's exciting if there's something that powerful in such a short amount of time.
I think the warming thing for those of you out there that are Xbox fans or have invested into the Xbox ecosystem, it was worrying before this that there was a potential that they would do a Sega.
We
talked about it.
Yeah.
What's warming and what's great, the overall feeling from this last part of that announcement was that no, we are focused on hardware. We're doubling down on this.
We are the Xbox you know and love, but we're going to go hard.
We're going hard. And
I find it really funny that PlayStation came out the other day and went, so the PS5's at the end of its life cycle.
Almost at the end of its life cycle. Dude, we're only 4 years in, but...
So they've got...
is everyone jumping early?
Yeah, they've got rumours of... they've got a spy in Xbox going, guys, they're ditching AMD.
Yeah.
They're going NVIDIA.
So are we.
Yeah. And they're going to drop it way sooner than we anticipated. It's at the end of its life, guys. PS5 done.
Nearly at the end of its life. What?
It's only got one exclusive, isn't it?
when are the PS5 games coming?
Yeah, they're all PS4 games as well.
Okay. Final part, PS5 stuff.
Yes.
I'm wetting myself with excitement. February 29th.
I know, I knew you would drop this in here somewhere.
Every episode.
Talking about Xbox. Final Fantasy
7's going out on PlayStation
5. Amazing.
Oh, man, I can't wait. Yes. I finished Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
I did.
Yeah, I've got to do I streamed it. If you're interested,
Yes,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
go and watch me on 128KB News.
Do it.
I should change the name of that channel.
I know, yeah.
Maybe
I
128KB Live.
did suggest it a while ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did you want to
I
call
can't
it?
remember, but I said you should change it.
Should change it.
Yeah,
We didn't really think much about the
No,
naming of these
no.
channels when we started.
It just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm streaming it. I'm going to do there's the DLC. There's like an extra part of the story that they released. And then I'll be streaming Rebirth. But I thought I wouldn't have enough time to do it.
Yes.
Turns out I got loads of time.
Yeah, you've got loads.
I
Nice.
played through it way too quickly.
Go back and do it again.
Yeah. So I'm going to play something else in between. Maybe Tomb Raider,
Oh, yeah.
the remastered.
Okay. Yeah.
Not interested?
Yeah, no, I'd watch it.
Did you not like Tomb Raider?
Yeah, no, I did, but
No.
I'd rather play the new ones again. Do you know what I mean? Like the
Weird.
old ones are just like, okay, play it on an N-Gauge.
I can't.
Yeah, just get one from CEX. It'll be like
Actually, I
grand.
do have a PS1 emulator
Yeah.
here.
Do you remember the N-Gauge, the phone?
No.
You don't remember the N-Gauge?
No.
Oh my god! Okay, so the N-Gauge was a
Okay,
phone.
right now in the comments, if you're on YouTube, write in if you remember what the hell Andy's talking about.
Everyone knows what the N-Gauge is. They do. It's a phone that launched in the early 2000s.
Right.
Like seriously early 2000s, like 2001 to 3, sometime like that. Like really early. Weird clamshell, like, you know, it looked like a pasty.
I totally know what you're talking about now.
Right, and it had a little like weird rectangular. It does look like a pasty.
Obscure reference.
Yeah, and it's got a weird screen in the middle.
Yeah.
Like some vertical, like a selfie
Yeah.
style, you know, like vertical screen, odd. And then it's got buttons on the left, buttons on the right. At least that's the one I'm remembering. And it could play Tomb Raider. It was a gaming phone, the first gaming phone.
Wow.
And if you go onto YouTube and watch people using it, it's probably about 3 FPS. It is awful. Like, you can't play on it. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. But it was there.
Yeah.
It was possible. And I remember when it came out, you know, in the era of flip phones and all that kind of stuff. Anyway,
Yeah, we go way off topic. We can go way more off topic because
Yes.
I was about to talk about the Tomb Raider remaster and I realised I shouldn't because we've got the members show as well.
We
so
do have a membership.
you know, make sure you're a member to the channel.
Yes.
And you can watch us go off topic.
Yay!
But let us know if you're on YouTube, let us know in the comments what you think about the Xbox announcements.
Mm-hmm.
If you agree with us, if you're excited, if you disagree with us, if you think PlayStation's the best, I mean, you can let us know that too.
Or Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah, that's well. I don't know why we get so
Switch
many.
2 next month. Come on.
'Cause it will be next month. Don't worry.
It better be.
If you're in podcast land, thank you for your company.
Yes.
Your time's up. It's time for you to leave the toilet now.
Yes, that's it.
So make sure that you wipe, wash, and rate the show.
Yes, yes.
I said it this week, so
Yeah, you did.
we didn't.
I never
we
get
got
it the wrong
complaints
way
last
around.
time.
Yeah, I can't say. I can't
Yes.
speak.
5 stars, of course, because it
Yes.
does actually really help us out massively.
Find us on all the streaming platforms and everything else.
Exactly.
Yes.
And if you're on YouTube, hi there. Look at our faces. Aren't they beautiful?
Click the membership button.
Oh, give us your money. No.
Yes.
There's some gaming stuff and there's other things you can do, but the most important you can do is to like the video and subscribe to
Yes,
the channel.
yes, do that.
That is free and
It
we
is.
love you for it.
Yeah, and comment.
And comment. And to the new members, thank you.
Yes,
We
we'll
love you
see
all.
soon.
Yes, we'll see you in a minute.
Yeah.
So until the next time, we'll see you next time.
Bye.